So hi everyone, and thank you for coming to see this presentation today. My name is Dr. Kieran Conroy, and I'm the Program Director for the BSc International Business with the Language. So I'm just going to talk you through the course today, the main details of the course, and give you kind of some information on the structure of the course, some of the types of modules and classes that students will undertake in the course, as well as some of the key highlights of the course and some of the opportunities after the course when you finish. So firstly, considering Queen's as a university, there's a number of distinctive elements that you might want to be aware of in terms of global rankings and in terms of some distinctive characteristics of Belfast. And Queen's is in the top 24 research intensive universities in the UK. So it's a Russell Group university, which essentially means that all of its lecturers are carrying out quality research, which they bring into the classroom so that students can benefit from this. Another noteworthy element to Queen's is the fact that its infrastructure has developed so much in the last few years. And you can see here some examples from the computer information technology building on the left, the new graduate school on the bottom right, the new library on the bottom left, and on the top right hand side you have one of the PFC, one of the main buildings where a lot of the student classes will be carried out over the year. And in the next couple of years, the management school is due to build a new building also. So a lot of investment that students are benefiting from in the last few years and also over the next few years. So the International Business with the Language course itself offers 5 specific language pathways: French, Spanish, German, Mandarin, and Portuguese. And every year we take on around 40 students, give or take. French and Spanish are obviously 2 of the more popular pathways, and German, Mandarin, and Portuguese. We also have several students that come into those cohorts every year, and German in particular becoming more popular over the last few years. The numbers on the course are not capped, so we take on as many students as we can. So it's quite a competitive course in terms of the entry requirements are ABB. It's a 4-year course, so it's a full-time 4-year course, and there's an international placement in the 3rd year of the course. One of the unique things about the course is that it's delivered across 2 schools. So the management school is a major part of the course, and the School of Modern Languages is the minor part. And there's a number of broad aims that the course tries to deliver, and the first is to equip students with the knowledge and skills needed to develop a career in international business. So we just want to provide students with that management expertise so that they can go and work in any type of business organization in years to come. The second thing is the focus on the language, and we really want students to leave the course being fluent in the particular language that they've chosen, but also being aware of the particular country and all the dynamics within that country, politically, economically, culturally, and socially, and having much more awareness of that particular country in the sense that they want to work there in a few years' time. More broadly, outside of the course, we provide students with a very supportive learning environment so that they can fulfill their academic potential. So in relation to this particular course, one of the distinctive highlights again is the international placement opportunity. So in the 3rd year, students would go on an international placement where they work abroad for a minimum of 9 months in the country of where they're studying the language. We also have a dedicated placement support office in the school, which helps students in finding a placement and supporting them through the placement process. So the course in itself, as I mentioned, is unique across 2 different schools. And there's a number of other teaching and learning approaches that are quite distinctive about the course. So we offer large lectures to students across the semesters. We offer small seminars or tutorials that are very interactive for students to get to know each other and get a more hands-on approach to the material and the content that's being delivered. And we also have a number of guest speakers that come in from industry and share their experiences with students, as well as alumni that have gone through the course, coming back to talk to students about their experiences and the benefits of their graduate positions after the course. There's also a variety of assessment and feedback options within the course. So we provide students with live case studies, for example, where particularly in their final years, companies will come in and work with the students in terms of solving real life problems for those companies. We do a lot of quite a few online simulations where, for example, particularly in final year, students are involved in an entrepreneurship simulation where they manage a real life company online. There's lots of group works, assessments, lots of presentations, and lots of essays in order, again, to try and build those key skills that students need in the workplace. With that in mind, we have lots of employability and employer engagement throughout the whole course. We have summer internship as an example. After the first year, students can work for companies in the summer for anywhere up to a few days for a few weeks. And we have company tours and presentations also. Again, outside of the course, the campus life is quite dynamic in terms of the extracurricular opportunities that it provides to students. And the next slide speaks to this in terms of those extracurricular options. So for example, if you look at the second point here, we have international study tours. And one of the highlights here is the Queen's Global Leadership Programme. In the past, this represents a specialised scholarship for any student in the university where they apply and they go abroad for a week and learn about business practices and broader political and economic issues in particular countries. So for example, in the past, they've gone to Asia, to Hong Kong for 10 days, a group of students. They've also gone on Brussels tours and Berlin tours. And some of these are geared towards business and finance students, and others are more generic and geared to students across the university. There's a number of other important opportunities in terms of volunteering and enterprise SU. So if you're a budding entrepreneur, for example, you can get involved in the QUB Dragon's Den. You or a group of friends can present business ideas to entrepreneurs in the Northern Irish environment and potentially get some funding for your startup ideas. And many of our students from this particular international business degree have done this in the past and been successful with this. We also have a number of other peer mentoring schemes and career tracking schemes that students can avail of throughout the 3 or 4 years in the university. So just a bit more specifics on the structure of the course then and the 4 years and what will happen over each of those 4 years. So the first year is about providing a platform and management. So many of our students don't have a business background coming into the course, and you don't need to have done a business module. So in first year, you do 6 compulsory modules. So you do 2 language modules across the 9 months, and you do 4 management or international business specific modules. And these modules cover broad management areas as well as more specific international business issues. So you have accounting, economics, marketing principles, organizational behavior, and global business, for example. And generally what we're doing in first year, again, is providing you with that broad base for the following years, the broad base in terms of management and in terms of international business also. In your second year, then you'll start to specialize a bit more. And again, you'll do 2 language modules and you'll do 4 management or international business specific modules. And in your second year, you have much more choice. So you'll be in a class on your own with your international business students in cross-cultural management and learning about how managers are successful across different cultures. And you'll have a choice between a number of different types of modules, such as digital enterprises, managing resources, leadership, supply chain management, and logistics and human resource management. And essentially what we're trying to do in your second year is provide you with a platform for international placement in your third year. So the idea is that you're choosing modules that you have an interest in, or you're choosing modules that you can see yourself working in that area in your third year on your international placement. So your third year then is all about embarking on your international placement. And the idea here is we're trying to develop your cultural intelligence. And you can look at this in terms of 2 particular stages. So the international placement really begins in second year, and we have what's called a pre-departure support stage. And all the way through your second year from September on, we're facilitating your international placement search. So we have a module that's dedicated to helping you searching for your international placement, as well as building these particular skills to get you ready before you actually depart. So we have a number of different classes that are dedicated to developing your CVs, your interviewing skills, finding a particular placement, the financial implications, We have health and safety classes and wellbeing classes and language classes that are providing you again with this support before you leave. The second stage then is the post-arrival support stage. So this is essentially when you arrive in the country, and most of our students will arrive in June the following summer, or anytime up from June up to September, and spend a minimum of 9 months in the particular country. And the post-arrival support stage is essentially helping you adjust when you arrive in the particular country. And many of our students will go to the major cities in France, Germany, and Spain, for example. They've gone to Barcelona, Paris, Madrid, Lyon, Munich, and Berlin. And when you arrive in the country, you have a mentor in the company that looks after you for the 9 months, that onboards you, that trains you, and supports you throughout the placement process. And you also have an academic mentor based in the University in Queen's that engages with you as you go throughout your placement and visits you when you're on your placement midway throughout the process. And as you can see from the slide here, just some examples of where our students have gone in the past. We've had students that have worked for large consultancy companies in Barcelona, such as PwC. We've had students that have gone to Berlin and have worked in Hugo Boss and Watchmaster. We've had students that have worked in Paris for L'Oreal, and we've also had students that have worked in Luxembourg, predominantly French-speaking students that have worked for Ernst & Young, a large consultancy company based in Luxembourg. So there's a lot of opportunities, and you're not just resigned to working in major cities. We also have had students that have worked in Alicante and commuter towns based in these particular countries also. So the final year then is about enhancing your global mindset. So again, you have 2 language modules and you have 4 management or international business modules. And you have a bit of a choice then again in final year. Some compulsory modules are based around global strategy. And this is about reinforcing the things that you've learned from international placement and bringing those to bear in the classroom. And then you have choices between modules like innovation, business startup, consultancy, consumer behavior, supply chain management, for example. And one of the key things that we're trying to do in final year is this idea of connected education. So we're trying to develop experiential learning. So again, lots of guest speakers, lots of company tours, lots of bringing these industry experts into the classroom to try and get them to impart their learning on you and to try and connect you more to industry so that your final year modules are giving you that base and that experience to go into industry. And we also have a number of company-sponsored prizes throughout the 4 years, where there is obviously a prize for best student in each language pathway and some monetary prizes. And again, these are all providing great exposure to companies from particular industries. This is just a brief summary slide of the entrance requirements for each of the language pathways. You have GCSE, AS level, and A level on the left-hand side here. And on the right-hand side, you have the Irish Leaving Certificate. And what I would say is, a lot of this is detailed on our website as well. And we essentially offer beginners for students in any of these language pathways. But you generally need a grade B in your GCSE, or if you study the language at AS level or A level, you also will need a grade B to get into the course. So just to give you an idea of where our graduates have gone after they've left the course, and the trend that we've seen is there's lots of quantity and quality. So there's lots of quantity in terms of a lot of options. You don't have to work for a large international business. A lot of our students have gone on to start their own entrepreneurial businesses or have worked in small businesses based in Northern Ireland. And some have even gone on to do further study and become lecturers within Queen's. There's also a lot of quality in terms of the roles and the types of companies that our students work for. So you can see from the logos here, we've had students that are currently working at L'Oreal in London and Financial Times. Lots of students have gone on to work for Coca-Cola here in Northern Ireland. We've had students that have gone to New York to work for Louis Vuitton Moet Tennessee. There are currently some students in Amazon in Madrid. Other students working in EY and large consultancy firms like KPMG or PwC. And we've had students that have gone on to work for HBO in the US for a couple of years and worked on the Game of Thrones sets. And generally these types of roles are very varied as well. As you can see from the next slide here, these are the types of roles that our students have generally gone into. So we've had brand development in Dom Perignon and Moet Hennessy in New York. There's been global business development is quite a popular role. A lot of our students have gone on to work in finance, despite the fact that they haven't done much finance within the particular course. Marketing, human resource management, recruitment coordinators, data analysts. These are all general examples of positions that our students have gone to. From the right-hand side here, you can see examples of students that have now gone on to work for Amazon in Madrid in recruitment, and other students that have gone on to work for Moet Hennessy in New York for a couple of years in brand development. So the course offers a variety of great options for students. And again, we connect in with this alumni network, bring them back into the classroom to talk to our students, particularly in final year. So just to summarize then about the kind of main highlights of the course and asking yourself if this course is for you. So are you first and foremost interested in management and international business and the dynamics of carrying this out in a global environment? Second, if you have a desire to travel and learn about new cultures and challenge yourself in this particular setting, because the international placement, although a very rewarding experience, also can be quite challenging. Also, the language element is a major part of the course, so you have to have an interest in language and an interest in developing your language expertise. And again, this is all developed by the languages school within the university, and it's something a lot of our students are passionate about. And finally, then, if you're looking for an intellectual challenge, the course is again quite challenging, but very rewarding, and it's something a lot of our students are looking for in this particular course. So if you have any questions for the open day in particular, we'll have some live chats, but you can email myself, and there's a couple of contact points here for any particular questions you might have. But thanks for your time and have a nice day.